Yeah, action.
1, 2, 3.
We are live here with Justin Hashi.
Hola.
How are you?
Muy bien.
We might need to have, we might need to cut that.
What, you walking over here?
No, the beginning part.
Why?
Well, because people are so easily offended.
I am half Mexican. I don't care.
Okay.
I have actual Mexican lineage. It's okay.
I mean, if people knew any better, I'm obviously Mexican. I'm super Mexican. I'm not. No. In fact, I am a new race of human being called transparent.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Or translucent, because I glow in the dark.
I'm not glowing in the dark.
I do. You put enough of these lights on me, turn them off, I guarantee you I can still light this setup.
That's terrible.
I guarantee it. Yeah.
That is terrible. Well, thanks for joining us today. This is day 7.
This is day 7, part 2.
Part 2, smoke break.
Yeah.
Halfway done making phone calls for the day. We're going to actually continue making more phone calls from today's deck tomorrow. Just because, one, I have to go to the recording studio with some of my artists and work at 4. So,
yeah, I'm a rapper. I'm a rapper. So
I was not referring to this guy. But pretty soon we will open it up for the artist profiles to be added on to the contributorships, to where they can upload their exclusive content and music to be submitted to be used in the documentary. Yeah. So congratulations, guys. You have the potential now to be heard and have your music be a part of royalties and make money in this documentary, and do everything that you can to push us and promote yourself and have the success of the film.
I just came up with a good idea. Let's do a little quick call to action.
What call to action do you want? Other than messing up my blunt, God.
Hey, I didn't do that. You rolled it.
Okay.
If you're a musician out there and you would like to enter your music into the film, go to marydocumentary.com, subscribe, and you'll be able to upload on our community canvas MP3 files of your music. And we will categorize all of that in a separate database, and then at the end of the community building process, we're going to allow everybody to vote on what music makes the final feature.
Yeah. And depending on how long the feature is, or if these are songs that are going to be for the docu-series and everything, we'll roll it out a special couple different ways. But
he's talking about 2 different projects, a docu-series and a documentary. He's all over the place.
Oh, yeah, I'm all over the place because this project is honestly all over the place, and we have so much that we can cover with content that we need music for all of it.
Yeah.
I need music for all of it. So I'm saying there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, for example, we're going to be doing a couple segments. One is going to be William Sky, the science guy. That's likely Justin.
Let's talk about some of the other segments. What about Blind Tokes?
Blind Tokes is going to be a great one. Oh my God.
Because Blind Tokes, we kind of did a little bit of an introduction with when you and Frizz took.
That was kind of a Blind Toke session.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a Blind Toke session.
We didn't, like, if it was it day 4, day 5? It was, I think it was day 5. You'll see a short clip from when an artist, a local Detroit artist, popped in here. And it was random. I've never met the guy before in my life, and he just happened to have a blunt, and he was starting to roll it. And it's through, that randomness. Some people call it, synchronicity, just meeting random people and then having that exchange of the peace pipe, if you will, that brings people together. And it's kind of a unique manifestation that happens in the cannabis community. And Blind Tokes, this video segment that we're going to be creating, is going to introduce this idea of complete random strangers. They're not told any information. They're not given, any rules of what to do while the camera's rolling. And we just throw them in the room.
Yeah, it's just a strictly unscripted segment. Yeah. Like, the whole point is to just have 2 people meet for the first time on our cameras, to be filmed for the documentary for Blind Tokes and be like, yo, this is our first time meeting. We're gonna have a toke sesh and we're gonna see where it takes us.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna do other social experiments though that surround this idea and also to challenge.
Oh, you mean like weed money?
Yeah, like hey, you got any weed money?
You guys caught our holiday special just before we launched. We hit downtown Detroit. He had a bell and a little. Did you have to say that?
Yeah, we were just trying something out.
It was cool though. It was cool.
Worked.
The response was awesome because it was marketing like a lot of people have never seen done before.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they chuckled and we saw a bunch of spikes in our site that night.
Right.
So it was cool.
Right. That is true. And we'll do more of those. Those were fun. And we want to continue to challenge this public stigma that seems to be out there.
Right.
And you know, I don't think though that we're gonna take necessarily a positive or a negative stance. We just want to tell stories, and sometimes we may come off as we're more pro cannabis than we are against cannabis, and that's ultimately to procure community. But our job is really to. I know you are, but we have to be like
I'm non-biased when it comes to this, but in my personal life.
Yeah.
This is not for show.
I agree. I am pro cannabis in my personal life. I think though it's an important distinction that we need to make talking to everybody that ultimately we have to be as non-biased as possible and look at even the like stories of I think it's called cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. Mm-hmm. It's when somebody ingests too much cannabis and they get extremely sick and they start throwing up. Like I'm fascinated about that because you know you hear that oh you can't overdose on cannabis and it's like this completely safe thing and I find that to be maybe a misjudgment.
Well, here's the thing about that. Everyone has an endocannabinoid system. Whether or not it reacts to certain strains or certain CBD levels or THC levels or delta 9s or anything like that in a certain different manner is all based on the individual. And we're just now crawling into the science to back any of this information. So realistically, I'm excited to see the medical developments and the research and the R&D that's going to come from us opening the cannabis streamline here in America.
No, I am too. I think there's a million different topics that we could go down, and I just want to make sure that people know that we're not trying to be pushing an agenda.
No, because the double side of that coin was I showed you that one clip of that guy who had the severe nerve damage and
the high times dip.
Yeah, and epilepsy, and he had almost 15 seizures a day before he was introduced to cannabis, and now he can self-medicate, calm himself down in the span of a 5-minute clip. Yeah. We were able to see how it drastically changed his mobility, his functionality, his ability to even speak.
Yeah.
And that was breathtaking to me. I almost cried.
And I would love to talk to people and like get a real in-depth look of people who are against cannabis and then get their opinions on situations like that. Like how do they feel about that really?
Right.
You know?
Right. And like, cause I hate to say that some people would say, oh, that's fake.
Right.
Because it's real.
Yeah,
it's not fake.
Right.
It'd be a shame for someone to make a video that was fake like that. Right. But at the same time, we know the world that we live in, and we want to get the most authentic stories as possible.
100%.
And get the most authentic reactions as possible, and the most authentic community members as possible. Really.
That's where you come in.
So that's all up to you guys. If you're really down for the ride and you want to see how to be a part of a documentary series, you're in the right place.
And there's only 2 reasons why we charge people $4.20 to be a part of it. The first one, because we need to fund the project, obviously. And the second one is because we want to get rid of a lot of the riffraff that you see on other social platforms, where there's a lot of unproductive conversations or half-naked people just doing bong rips and like, peace. I don't know what they do now. But, so I want to have more...
Oh, you know what they do.
Yeah, I know what they do. But, I want to have more of a productive community.
Yeah, this isn't a website for self-promotion. It's a website for businesses to promote themselves and individuals to join the conversation and help us direct a film.
So that's an interesting distinction that you're just laying down there, is that businesses can tell their story, but an individual can also tell their story or other people's stories as well. Yes. But we're allowing businesses to tell their story because they play a critical role in the economics of this industry.
Exactly. So And that doesn't mean that business gets to say or is guaranteed a spot in the end film or anything like that. It's to give you the opportunity to represent yourself and tell your story, and hopefully the community likes it enough that it gets to be in the final edits, in the final cuts.
Sorry about that.
That's alright. You're always planning something.
I know. I try. Yeah. Cut. I just want to see where we're at in terms of time.
Mm-hmm.